Hello everyone, I'm Kathy from Kathy Creates, where I try to inspire you to create. Tonight I'm coming to you live both on my page and the Craft Around the Clock page. Well, let me get us pulled up over here and we will get started. When you get here, say hello, let me know you're here, tell me where you're from, what's your day's been like, what's your weather, all the things. It's been kind of cloudy and rainy here, so it hasn't been great weather. So make sure you're commenting for a chance at Happy Mail. I do the drawing on or around 13th of the month. I'm late. I have not done Marches yet. Probably this weekend I will do it. So make sure you're commenting because you're going to want to get in on it. All right, so tonight we're going to use one of our brand new kits. I've linked it in the top, on the top. So if you're interested in this kit, you can purchase it. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to put this together. Okay, so this is what it's going to start like. When you receive it, it's going to look like this, minus the stain. I've already stained this round because you do need to have the stain dry for the sticky back to stick. Hey, Dorothy. Mom is on doing comments tonight, even though she's sick. So everybody send some hearts and prayers for Mom that she starts feeling better. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pull all these pieces off for now. We're going to set our round aside. Okay, so when you get it, it's going to look like that. It doesn't look much different because I used a real light stain, but this one is stained already. All right, so we are going to put our napkin down, paper towel, whatever, and get started painting. I'm going to paint this first, black. You can paint this whatever. Hey, Tracy. The Golden Bell, Nancy Bell Grice. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to paint this black first. Of course, you know, you can paint this any way you like. I kind of like to keep it in my aesthetic. So normally when I paint lasered pieces, I use sponges. But for this bigger piece, one, it already has the black edges from the laser, as you can see. So I'm going to paint it black, so I don't have to worry about getting any on the sides. It's okay if I do, because you're not going to be able to see it. So I am going to do a brush because it's much quicker. And for this big of a piece, I thought it would just work out better to use the brush. So our little grandson, we had him on Saturday. Mom came over, we visited, and he had a little bit of a cold. And he got both Mom and me. We both ended up with a cold. Mom's much worse off than I am. Mine is already starting to get a little bit better. I just have a sore throat, and of course my voice is wonky, but my voice is always wonky. What's new? I know, Diane, isn't he? And how could you not be hugging on that little boy? Hi, Mitzi. Yeah, yes, Linda, he got us both. So he had a little bit of a cold, and I knew that when my son asked me if we'd watch him. He warned me and said, "Are you sure you want him? Because he's got a cold." And I'm like, "Yeah, bring him over. It's fine." Well, yeah, he got me. But how could I not squeeze on him? And I'll tell you what, he's a lot cuter sick than I am. Because, I mean, how could you be that cute and sick? So, whatever. It's fine. So, like I said, I just have a sore throat, a wonky voice, and a lot of nasal drainage. We'll put it that way. Not very pleasant. I'm hoping I can get through this without sneezing or needing to blow my nose. Okay. With the black, it's kind of hard to see sometimes if you got everything. I think I did. And just when you say that, then you find a couple more spots that you did not. Okay. I think so. So we're just going to kind of set that aside for now. I'm going to leave my brush out, though, because I have a sneaking suspicion as that dries, I'm going to see more. And I just got black paint all over me. Yes, it is. Exactly, Linda. I would never say no to my little grandson. I will take him no matter what. So, and he did cough and sneeze in my face a few times. So that probably is what did me in. But he was so cute. I mean, he was so cute. I'll survive. Just a cold. And honestly, I'm not sure Mom was ever over what she had before. So hers might just be more of the same. But I don't know. Okay. So I am going to use the sponge to paint these. And I am going to paint these white. I want them to pop. No kidding. You can't pass up Snuggles. I mean, baby Snuggles are the best. And like I said, he was so happy and so smiley and cute. It's like, how could you not hug on that little guy? So I think I'm going to use the sponge to do my letters. These are just makeup sponges. I buy them on Amazon. I can get like 50 of them or 100 of them or something. I don't even remember how many were in here. Real inexpensive, $8, $9, I think, for a ton of them. So we're just going to do this. Now, this will take a couple of coats, so that's why I wanted to get these going. Oh, you got the stomach bug? Ugh, that's even worse. I don't like the stomach bugs. Those are bad. I got really sick. I got food poisoning. Really sick. And I was sick for like a week and a half, 10 days. And it was bad. It was bad. And I won't go into gory details, but I went to the doctor and he had me do a disgusting test. And we found out even more disgusting news about what I had and how I got it. It was definitely food poisoning from a restaurant. So, yeah, it wasn't good. And I was sick, like I said, for a good 2 weeks. Well, 10 days. A good 10 days. It took a long time for that to get out of my system. And unfortunately, what I had, there was no antibiotic or anything for it. You just got to let it run its course. So that was not good. And of course, I can't prove that it came from there, so I couldn't really do anything about it. But I'd only eaten at 2 places in the past 2 or 3 days prior to, and I didn't even make it home before I got sick. So pretty sure it came from the one place. Not gonna say their name though. I'm not gonna do that. But if you live in the area and you're interested, DM me and I'll tell you. But I'm not gonna put it out there on Facebook like that. But anyways, I hope you're feeling better. Because that is no fun. So I am just gonna go back over this again. And we're gonna probably do 2 or 3 coats just to make sure we've got a good even coverage, because this MDF does absorb the paint. Any of the light colors you need to go over a couple of times because it will definitely absorb. So like I'm going to show you this, and hopefully the glare is not bad, but you can see how it's kind of got some gray spots. It was not seafood, I can tell you that. It was breakfast. And it really had nothing to do with the food. Let's just put it that way. Well, it did have to do with the food. The food was contaminated, but the food wasn't bad. Let's put it that way. It was gross. It was very gross. No, and I do not eat seafood. Oh, from a McDonald's salad. Yeah, it had to run its course and it was no fun. Dorothy, guess what? You got a Happy Meal entry. It was not fun. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy because that was awful. Awful, awful. It's not so much I can't eat seafood, I just don't like it. And trust me, I have tried all of it because my husband loves seafood. And he's one of those people that he just can't believe that I don't like it because he likes it so much. And so every time he orders it, he's like, honey, try a bite, try a bite. And I'm like, I don't like it. And he's like, well, you don't know if you don't like it. You've not tried this one. So I try it. And guess what? I don't like it. Never have been a seafood fan. Never really liked fish. And I grew up, my parents had a boat on the lake. And we ate fish all the time. And the only way I would eat it is if I drowned it in ketchup or tartar sauce because I just did not like it. Never was a fan. And that's went right along with all of it. I don't like lobster, shrimp, none of it. Crab, mm-mm. No ma'am, do not like it. Not a fan. Carrie, you're not either? Hi, Brenda. Yeah, it's not a thing for me. I just don't like it. Now give me a good old steak. Oh yeah, I love steak. Love steak. With my MSG allergy, I'm limited to where I can even go for that. Because a lot of your chain steakhouses, like Texas Roadhouse and Outback and all of those, they all use MSG. I mean, bad, use MSG. We went into Texas Roadhouse because I had read online that if you ask them, they can make you a steak without it. And so I thought, all right, that'll work. May not taste the same, but we'll give it a shot, see how bad it is, you know? So we went in, and when we were waiting for the waiter to come to put our order in to tell them that, I needed it done separate, they brought the rolls. And I had read online that the rolls did not have MSG, which no baked goods have it. I've not found any baked goods that have it. So I was like, okay. We were eating the rolls, and I started having one of my reactions like immediately. And my reactions are anaphylactic shock. It's never gotten full blown, but my lips started to swell, my eyes started swelling, and my husband, obviously was concerned and asked them, can we see a manager? What's going on here? And guess what? He said, well, you pretty much can't eat here because I can't guarantee that there's not MSG in everything. So they must just fling that stuff around back there, I'm telling you, because you knew I'd miss a spot. And I sure did right there. That's why I left this out. The black is kind of hard to paint. So Texas Roadhouse is completely out. I can't even eat anything there because I just can't trust it. Which is a bummer because it was one of our favorite restaurants. Hey, Sherry. Oh gosh, you got sick on shrimp and didn't eat it for 10 years? Well, I can tell you that Texas Roadhouse doesn't follow the rules then because they I had a reaction like almost instantly, which is very rare. My reactions are always it's like I have to metabolize it unless it's really heavy in it. And because my reactions are usually like 4 to 6 hours later. They're not immediate unless the stuff is loaded with MSG. Then I'll have a pretty immediate reaction. All right, so now this is kind of a trickier piece to paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sponge to do the green part carefully because I want to keep it out of the flowers. And then I am going to use a paintbrush to paint the flowers. Okay, so we're just going to be careful here. I'm just going to touch right up there at the top. And guys, I go next Tuesday to the ENT to find out what's going on with my voice. So excited. I mean, I don't know that I'll have any answers, but at least start the process. I imagine they're going to do some testing, do some scopes or something, but I can't imagine that'll all happen that day. But at least we're starting the process. So that'll be nice. It'll be nice to have my voice back. All right. I think I have this pretty well covered. Okay. So as you can see, I just painted the green carefully. Thank you, Tracy. All right. So I think we're going to be done with that. And then I'm going to use, what did I do with it? Did I lose it? Oh, right here. I'm going to use this little brush. I'm going to paint the big flower. Well, you know what? I want to paint the white first. Let's do the white. I'm going to do the white on the inside of these flowers. I'm going to do that first. And I am being somewhat careful, but we did score this so you can see exactly where you need to paint. I did originally, the design was to cut these out, but they're so tiny. They're really hard to A, keep track of, and B, to put them in the center. So Bob had the idea to just score it instead. Okay, so I'll probably go back and hit another coat. As you can see, I just painted the centers of those, and you can see the score marks around it. So you have a guide to know exactly where you're going with your paint. All right, so now we're going to go with the pink. Don't forget to keep commenting for your chance at Happy Mail. Now that we have the laser back up and running, my guess is Happy Mail is going to have something from the laser in it. You're probably going to want it. All right, so now the way I paint with a paintbrush for the lasered pieces, that I don't want to get the edges all mucked up, is I paint towards the edge, okay? So I'm going towards the edge so that the paint doesn't, you almost like scrape it off if you go from the edge in. It almost scrapes it, and then it'll leave a bunch of paint on the side of your piece. I still might get a little there, but it won't be as bad by doing it in this way. And of course, you can paint this any color you want. You know, this is yours to paint however you see fit. If you purchase this kit, it'll come to you just with the MDF. So you pick out your paint, you pick out, you know, your ribbons, if you're going to put a ribbon on it. You get to choose all of that when you purchase these kits. Okay, definitely is going to need a second coat. As you can see, it's kind of faded looking. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I was dying for him to get that laser fixed because I had these in the works and I wanted to get them cut. And I wanted to show you all. And the store I'm in at has a couple of shows they're doing, craft shows. And I wanted to get them to her so she could sell them. So I was really happy when he got it running last week. I think we're going to need a third coat. I think while we let this dry for a second, we'll go back with the white and put a second coat of the white in the centers of those flowers. I want that white to really stand out. There we go. Let's take the dryer and dry that real quick. Oh, me too, Tracy. It's going to be fun. We've already got 14 people signed up for it. So it's close to being full. So if you're local and you wanted to attend, then you need to get your registration in because it's going to go quick. Tracy, you just got another Happy Mail entry. Because I usually cut it off by, usually 15 to 18 is my max, so it's getting really close. And I have a couple of repeat people that are coming back, so that tells you that they're pretty fun. All right, so this is going to be good. Okay. All right, I think that's done. So we're going to switch over now, rinse my brush, and we're going to go to the purple next. I'm not sure I'm happy with that white. I think we might have to do another coat of white on our letters. Yeah, we got plenty of time. We're only 20 minutes in. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the purple. We're going to do the same thing with our purple. Now, I painted these lines black because I like the black and white, the whole farmhousey look, you know. But I'm envisioning this also painted with like all pastels. I thought that would be kind of pretty too. You could paint the lines with, you know, either coordinating with your flowers or something along those lines. I thought that would be kind of pretty. Plus, I'm painting this kind of more of a neutrally look because, quite honestly, I'll probably sell this one up at the shop. So I wanted to keep it somewhat neutral. You just have the little pop of color here with the flower. Everything else is going to stay the black and the white. Sorry for the sniffles. 'Tis the season, right? Okay. Now we're going to go back. One more coat. I think one more I'll do it on the purple. It's a little bit darker, so it covers a little bit better. We're going to go in and put a little shadowing or detail in this, so it's okay. Okay. So I think her flowers are painted. As you can see, they're just super cute. We're going to do a little detail on them. They're done. I am going to hit this one more coat of white. I'm just not liking the coverage I'm getting on this. This MDF really absorbs the light colors. Sometimes you have to do them a few times. That's better. Okay. Using the tape method to hold these down is a game changer. If you've never done that when you're trying to paint a bunch of little pieces, it is so much easier than trying to hold them all and paint them. And getting paint all over everything yourself, the piece, the table, everything. So much easier. Okay, I think we might have it this time. All right, so we're going to set those aside. Me too, Carol. I love this kit. I think it's really, really cute. I'm going to dry my flower, especially. We'll dry our letters. We're going to get those dry. Let me get that out of the way before I get white all over it. Yeah, I don't have it in order. It says Happy Spring. That would be kind of rough, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's good coverage now. Sorry, guys. All right, so now I'm just going to take that little tiny brush. We're going to set this aside. I'm going to take this little tiny brush. I'm going to get most of the paint off on the plate. I'm just going to put a few little wispy lines in our flower just to give it a little detail. Oh, Tracy, you're so sweet for the stars. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Just barely touching this. Not putting much at all on it. I'll show you here in just a second. Especially on the purple, because the purple's a little bit darker. So if I do a lot, it's going to show a lot. And I don't necessarily want that. Let me hold this guy up. You guys see that little detailing I put in there? Okay. So let's dry this all up and we'll start putting it together. Okay. All right, let's set this all aside. Get rid of our napkin or paper toweling. Which side stained? This side stained. Okay, so the first piece you're going to put down is this. You want this to be pretty much perpendicular. You're going to just eyeball it. I mean, if you really wanted to get all crazy, you could measure. I'm not doing that. We're just going to eyeball it. Now, all of our pieces have sticky back on them. So all you're going to do is just peel this off. It's got a little backing on it. And once you stick this down, it's stuck. So make sure you kind of have it where you want it. I mean, you have a little bit of wiggle room, but if you press it down, it's done. It's staying. Okay. I'm just peeling all that off. So now it's got a stickiness on the back. All right. So now we're just going to try to line this up the best we can. That is not straight. See, like I said, you got a little bit of wiggle room. I think that's pretty good. So we're just going to press it down. I get this paint off my hand just in case it's wet. I don't want to get a bunch of white spots all over everything. Not sure where I got into the white paint. I thought I was being careful, but not so much. Okay. And we're just going to space these out. We're going to set them on here to kind of eyeball our space. And then we will peel all the backs off. Now you'll see it says spring. We're going to put the letters in order. Okay. No, well, yes and no. I don't necessarily on the website. Most of them are here on Facebook, but I have not linked them to the website. I usually put on the website the finished product. Okay, so we got our spacing down. But yes, that is the website right there. Mom posted it. The link for this kit is up in the top of the description. All right, and so it's literally peel and stick now. Tracy, you again, my darling. So it's just peel and stick now. This is super awesome sticky back. Once it's down, it's down. Once you press it down, you're not going to get it back up. So you want to make sure before you press it, that you have it in the right spot. The only way you're going to get it off is to pry it off, and it's going to ruin both pieces, both what you're working on, or both the top piece and the surface that it's stuck to. So I have removed a couple of pieces because something went wrong and it's ruined all the surfaces. So keep that in mind. It will not be reusable. Okay, once it's pressed on, it's down. It's not affected by heat. I've had this between my doors. I hang a sign year-round on my door, and my front door I have a glass storm door over my main door, and so in between it gets really hot when the sun's on it, especially in the summer. And it has never affected my signs at all. The sticky back stays, nothing falls off, because with like hot glue and certain glues, heat will make it just fall right apart. Not this. This will not fall apart. It's not affected by heat or cold. Okay, we're almost done. All we have to do is our flowers. Now I will tell you, the flowers are a little bit more difficult. I'm going to put this down because I don't want to scratch the paint. I would suggest for this piece laying it down flat because it is a little fragile because some of the pieces are pretty thin. Yes, shipping is included. Shipping is included on all of our prices on the website. So this one is a little more difficult because it's got all the different little sections of the flowers. And you don't want to break your flower off. So it's best to leave this laying flat and just use your nail to get underneath that to peel it off. I would start with these pieces so you kind of get a hang of how it works. But then I would leave this piece flat, just so you don't break off one of the flowers, because they are a little bit fragile because they're, on a small stem. It could break if you were, holding it up and trying to peel. Okay, we almost have this one done. There we go. And it's very sticky. Just going to place that right there. Give it a good press. And there we go. Our sign is done. Now all we need to do is embellish it. So I buy this thicker twine at Hobby Lobby. Nope, that's going to go through there. Sometimes it's got a fat piece or spot. And I have a hard time getting it through the hole, but usually I can work it through. There we go. So I go in through the front and then back in the back, just like this. And we're going to tie the knots in the front because we don't want it, we want it to hang flat against the door, the wall, whatever you're hanging it on. If you put the knots in the back, it's going to be bubbled out. Okay, so I cut it pretty close to the knot. All right, and then we're going to go about there. So let's cut it right about there. Cut off our excess. Okay, so there's our hanger. But now we're going to make a bow to go right here. So you're not going to see those knots. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And you all know what I'm going to use. My favorite. You guys know I love this. It's $9.99, but I think this week it would be on sale, I think. If I figured out their new sales thing, they have floral and ribbon on sale at the same time now. It's like you guys are messing with me here. Let's see. What do we have? We have Tracy again. Girl, you're cleaning up tonight. Okay, I got that. And then I am going to do buffalo plaid. Like I said, I'm going to keep this neutral. You certainly could add in some bright colors, pull in that spring colors. But based on that this is going to probably be for sale, I wanted to keep it neutral. Okay. I'm going to fold in half lengthwise. Make my dovetails. I'm going to do that on both of these. Grab the wrong scissors. Those don't cut fabric very well. Okay. Now we're going to get some twine, some raffia. Now all of my signs have raffia. Okay. I'm going to make a loop. Another loop back and forth all the way down the raffia. Give it a little twist. Tie it right in the middle of our twine. Okay. I've got a long straggler right there, so we're going to cut that off. Now this one's kind of boxy looking, so I'm going to go ahead and fluff it up. So I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to roll it around in my hand. Okay, and then I'm going to straighten it back out. That looks a little better. As you can see, it looks a little softer. All right, make my bow. We're doing on time. Oh, we're great. Okay, to make the bow, we're going to fold this in thirds, putting our ends down so it looks like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. Okay, so we have a little stack of ribbon right here. I'm only going to do the two, and I'm going to put my raffia right over the top, flip it over, start to tie it, but before I pull it tight, we're going to pinch. I'm just going to gather all this up and pinch it with my fingers. Pull it tight, check my raffia, make sure it's in the center of my bow, and then double tie it. Okay, now we are going to take some of this, doesn't say what it is. It's just Hobby Lobby. I love this greenery. It's got the little white flowers. I'm going to take a section of that. Now this, I'm going to slide these up so that they're closer together. I'm going to pull this one off. We'll save that for another project. I'm going to cut this excess stem. See how it's got all this extra up here? We're going to cut that off. Then I'm going to slide this guy up. Well, maybe. There we go. Now I'm going to cut off this because there's a bunch of excess here. Okay, so now I have two sections that look like that. We actually have time. I can show you guys how I make my bows. Last few projects I've had to rush to make my bow. We have time, so I can show you step by step. All right. So then I'm going to take these two pieces, and I'm just going to overlap them like that. And I'm going to wrap my wire tightly around them. Okay, so I have this little floral bundle. It's got the wire in the middle. I'm going to lay that right across my bow. And tie it on. Okay. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to fluff this guy up a little bit. Okay, that's what our little bow looks like. And then all I do is I switch this around. I pull up my twine so it's in the center. So I know where the center is, and I line that up with the center of my bow. Then I go in that back loop of the bow. I take my staple gun, and I just staple it down on both sides. Just that simple. Okay, and then we can just play with the bow and get it so however you'd like. Then adjust our raffia. Okay, and there you have it. There is our cute little sign. The staple gun is from Home Depot. It is Arrow True Tack, and it does 1/4 inch, 5/16, and 3/8. I'll hold it up there so you can see it. And the other side is where it says that it's an arrow. And that was from Home Depot. I'm not sure if you can get them anywhere else, but I love that thing. It works great. I have stapled hundreds, probably thousands of bows on. Hundreds for sure, probably into the thousands by now. Oh, thank you, Brenda. So if you're interested in the kit, it is on our website. I've linked it. I think Mom linked it as well. And then what we normally do, so to sell this, I'll take this bow off again, and then I will spray this and put a clear coat polyurethane over the top just to protect it from any nicks and scrapes to keep the paint from chipping. Because it's just acrylic craft paint. So to keep it from getting chipped up, when it's stored or whatever, we just put a clear coat of polyurethane over the top, and that's it. And they're good to go. Now, I wouldn't put them outside because it's not sealed, on the back. I mean, if you put a sealer on it, it'd probably be fine, but you'd have to seal it to put it outside. They're not meant to be outside. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm not sure who's up next, but I'm sure it'll be fabulous. So stick around on Craft Around the Clock, where it's live crafting from early in the morning till late at night. And there's always replays for you night owls. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.